Assalamu alaikum. I am Talha Zubair. The topic of discussion is types of DSC. There are two types of DSC. Power compensated DSC. Number two है heat flux DSC. Basically, they differ in their construction and working. The furnace of a power compensated DSC uses two separate blocks for sample and reference, whereas heat flux DSC has a single block for heating both sample and reference. जो power compensated DSC works on the principle keeping the temperature difference between sample and reference constant. The amount of heat flow to be supplied to the sample and the reference is determined by the differential thermal power between them. Heat flux, on the other hand, allows the temperature difference between the sample and reference to vary, and this temperature difference is used to get required heat flow. Power compensated DSC has better resolution of thermal events occurring during heating of a sample, whereas heat flux DSC is more sensitive towards the thermal events. The crucibles used are made up of platinum, aluminium, copper, gold, etc. In order to understand with the high temperature applied to them and to avoid any reaction with them, different atmosphere such as air, nitrogen, argon, vacuum, etc. can be made can be maintained in order to achieve desired outcome. Both sample and reference are connected to a temperature sensor and a heater coil. Heater coil heats them at a constant rate, and temperature sensor sense the sense the temperature difference between the sample and reference. Same linear heating rate is applied to both of them. Temperature is increased at a constant rate. Both the sample and reference are maintained at same temperature. When heating is carried out, the sample tends to release or absorb heat as a result of phase changes occurring in it. In order to maintain same temperature for both sample and reference, more or less heat is needed to be supplied to the sample undergoing phase transitions. This amount of heat supplied or transferred to the sample is monitored using PC, and output is received in form of a thermogram showing different exothermic and endothermic peaks. Two different conventions are used to represent the exo and endothermic processes. Exothermic and endothermic reactions are shown in positive and negative directions respectively, or vice versa, depending upon the kind of convention used in the instrument. बेसिकली डायग्राम में हमें दिखाया गया है कि जब हीट फ्लक्स होती है तो एंडोथर्मिक और एक्सोथर्मिक रिएक्शन, जो ग्लास ट्रांजिशन है वो एंडोथर्मिक रिएक्शन है। आफ्टर सम टाइम क्रिस्टलाइजेशन पीक अकर होती है और जो कि एक्सोथर्मिक रिएक्शन है। और जो मेल्टिंग है, टाइम और टेम्परेचर के हिसाब से जो मेल्टिंग पीक है वो एंडोथर्मिक रिएक्शन है। नेक्स्ट है जी हीट कैपेसिटी। Heat capacity is defined as the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of a material by 10 degrees Celsius. It can be calculated by the ratio of amount of heat flow and the heat rate. The amount of heat flow is the heat flowing per unit time. Heat Q flow, heat flow time is equal to T, and heating rate is the rate of change temperature. हीटिंग रेट होता है एक्चुअली रेट ऑफ चेंज टेम्परेचर, जो कि लार्ज टी delta small t, whereas t and large T are time and temperature respectively. Thus, the slope of heat supplied versus increase in temperature gives the value of heat capacity of the sample. Next is the glass transition. Glass transition is a downward shift in the baseline with increase in temperature or time. This shift in baseline does not occur instantly, rather, it takes place glass transition, crystallization, peak, melting peak, or heat flux time or temperature, exo-endothermic. It is an endothermic transition, i.e. it absorbs heat. जो ग्लास ट्रांजिशन है बेसिकली वो एंडोथर्मिक ट्रांजिशन है, ये हीट को एब्जर्व करती है. हैंस द हीट कैपेसिटी ऑफ द मटेरियल इंक्रीजिंग ग्लास ट्रांजिशन. नेक्स्ट है जी, ये डायग्राम हमें ऑब्जर्वेंस की शो की गई है. इसमें एस्प्रिन और एस्टामाइरोफिन जो विद द पैसेज ऑफ टाइम ये हमें दिखाया गया है कि कितनी एनर्जी ऑब्जर्व करती हैं. नेक्स्ट है जी क्रिस्टलाइजेशन. जो अब क्रिस्टलाइजेशन है वो एक्सोथर्मिक इवेंट है in which the material releases heat and forms a low energy or stable ordered structure. The enthalpy of crystallization can be obtained by calculating the area under the peak. अब इसकी हम इंथाल्पी कैसे मालूम कर सकते हैं? The area under the peak and dividing by heat rate. Enthalpy of crystallization can be obtained by calculate the area under the peak and dividing it by heating rate. Further, the percentage crystallinity at a particular degree of conversion can also be calculated, along with the enthalpy of crystallization and the crystallization temperature. DSC can also be used to determine whether the amorphous material crystallizes in a single step or it takes multiple steps to crystallize. Next है जी melting. As कहता जी heating of a material is continued beyond crystallization. Eventually it melts. Melting is an endothermic process that transforms a solid material into liquid. Crystallization and melting are first order phase transitions since they involve latent heat, whereas no latent heat is associated with the glass transition. Rather, it involves an increase in heat capacity, hence, it considered to be a second order phase transition. दिस इज़ द टॉपिक ऑफ माई प्रेजेंटेशन. अगर किसी को कोई बात समझ नहीं आई तो वो मुझसे पूछ सकता है. शुक्रिया आप सबका सुनने के लिए.